Welcome back again on IESF 14 World Esports Championship Grand Final. Last day, PUBG Mobile still on fire stage, and here we are. The second game of the day. Who's gonna be the winner? Who's gonna be the one who get winner chicken dinner? So, ladies and gentlemen, after the grand final, we will have another exhibition match. We have 3 more matches with para gamers players. So don't miss it. Still on IESF 14 World Esports Championship. So let us start the second game of the day. I would like to ask the caster. Oh, already ready. Okay, so please welcome once again Chuchu and El Doge.
Thank you so much, Masger. What an amazing day we have today, because this is the last day of the grand final. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the World Esports Championship 2022 with me, El Doge, and also
Choo-choo. It's always choo-choo. There will be a lot of choo-choo today, guys. Just saying.
Yeah. 4 games, right? You do the cast today.
Don't remind me.
Don't remind. All right. We are back to the game. The first one is quite amazing. Morocco with a 14 elimination.
Finally.
We expect a lot from that nation, because 1 million is actually one of the participants for PMGC, and they did it quite well for the first game. But before we are going to the second one, another jinx maybe. Prediction. Chichi, you want to go first?
Oh, man. Guys, stop bashing us, please. We can't help it. We got a jinx towards the teams, okay? This is not from me. Don't blame it on me. It's going to be, I think, a turkey. Turkey. I'm sorry, turkey.
But you know what?
Yours?
According to my track record, when it comes to my prediction, at the beginning of the day, it's quite good. But when it comes to the late time of the day, like the 4th or 5th match, it is disaster. So I hope my nation, Indonesia, will give their best at Myanmar. If they do not doing that well, yeah, I hope I'll still be here tomorrow.
Stop justifying yourself. Stop justifying yourself. I have a bad feeling for both teams right now.
No.
I mean, like, sorry, guys, but it happens. I mean, like, we have magic. In a bad way.
In a bad way. It is not in a good way, but it's in the bad way. But again, it's only a prediction for you guys at home. You also can support your team, your nation, by the hashtag, by the commentary, anything you can support, because this is the last day. After this, there will be top 3 teams that will regain the champion, the victory, and also getting more rich, I guess. A lot of money is at stake for about 100,000 bucks.
At least they get to go around Bali and flexing their cash.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You get the money, you get $1, you know? For some of them, they get to experience Bali, but a bit broke.
Yeah. Still though, it's still experience in Bali, but yeah, from your own money then.
Oh, man. But back for the games now. Seriousness in the game. We're seeing so many teams trying to do something extraordinary, but feels like it's a bit awkward. Like, in case of, we do know so many teams have been so well when it comes to players, right? But when it comes to the grand finals, is it their nervousness? Is it just the pressure mounting up by the players? Or is it just the circle and the flat path? I think the circle and flat path have been very generous the past few days.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, especially for the second day. A lot of circle are really generous to all the players. I think one of the most impact reason, like you already mentioned earlier, is about the pressure. It's only top 3 teams that will gain the prize pool. They will gain the best pride of PUBG Mobile when it comes to the World Esports Championship. I think that is the most important thing that impact them a lot when it comes to the gameplay. We can say a team like Saudi Arabia, then maybe Jordan, Iraq. Iraq is on a good track right now, but team like we already mentioned earlier, they still not playing their best up until today. Even maybe 1 or 2 games they can gain a lot of points, but when it comes to in total, they're not in a stable or consistency according to their gameplay or collecting a lot of points.
What do you think is the reason, the main reason behind how they are not performing as much? Is it really changes of dynamic when you add in the 5 different teams right now, or is it just, you know, all their mindset here?
I think mindset, because back again to the pressure. I know adding 5 teams more is actually changing all the things, because they usually played for the maximum 13 teams. Now they are playing for the full 16 teams. So maybe that's one of the reasons, but I hope they are still playing their best, because we are going to the second game of the day, Miramar, my favorite map. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen.
Speaking of which, we don't have a view, and now finally we got
Finally.
it. Thank you so much, Observer. You guys have been amazing, amazing. Without the observers, we won't have all the scenic moment and also the Hollywood moment of some fights.
Oh.
Definitely. On flight path this time, we do have Toria Ahumada down to Valdemar. But Circle, I have a feeling, we might actually comprise of Power Grid, Graveyard, even Minas Generalis. It has been very generous the past few days. But on the northern side, there's so many teams dropping out quite early.
Even Campo Militar, this is quite unique, and I really want to discuss about Brazil. Brazil, I think they are a strong contender when they already knew what is the exact position they want to get at a certain time. Because, you know, when it comes to the previous game, I saw that Brazil only do the repositioning, only do the rotation, and I think it costs them a lot. Even when they need to swim across the island again to the main island, it really gives them a bad impact. So I think Brazil, right now they just need to confirm where is the exact position they need. But I think today is different, Chuchu. The circle is going towards the southwest part of the map, which is not occupied by a lot of teams, because earlier we saw a lot of teams already dropping down towards the northern side. So team like Sri Lanka, even more than 2 kilometers, they need to move.
I mean, like, they can take their own sweet time and try to build up their loot since they are already that far.
Oh, yeah.
Don't have to rush right now because everybody is quite having the mindset to just rush in. Then it's going to be really chaotic at first. But coming up from the southern part, including Vietnam team, including, I think there's one more team around there somewhere. It's really high firepower, who happens to be dropping on top of Chumacera at first. Previously it was Vietnam. Now they have to give away the position based on the previous few matches. Early on, we do have a bit of a battling moment coming up from Andy of Maldives and one more team. I think that's going to be coming up from Kazakhstan, maybe Egypt. It's going to be Egypt, no, Iraq.
Iraq, yeah.
Kalaga, it's
Again,
Kalaga. It's Kalaga.
It's the classic Kalaga. I mean, he's one of the most close combat, or the most confident players when it comes to shooting towards the other enemy or the other opponents. But I think Iraq, they know they have the chance to go towards the top 3. Right now the regroup already happened, but one player is so close, and Eddie, what a good shot with hip fire, but the backup coming from Iraq to Vas. Eddie even not having any time to get the elimination. Even Iraq still can revive his teammates. So intact with full manpower again for Iraq.
Close enough. He almost clutched it for Kalaga, but he's just 1 second away because he needs to jump down from vehicle.
Yeah.
Because of that delay to jump down from that vehicle, make it such a game changer for him. The side of Maldives, still, they lost 1 man quite early on. Not sure what's happening. It's going to be versus Iraq just now. But it was the same case. I think it was Toxin from Maldives as well in the first match today, that they lost it quite early on, right?
Yeah, really unfortunate, I think, for Maldives. Even in our break time, I asked to Chucho and don't know what happened to Maldives. I don't know, maybe a lot of pressure or some kind like that, because I did not see the emotion that they can having anymore or boost their spirit when it comes to the break. So I hope that Maldives will find again the spirit for them, because yeah, sometimes, or even for often an occasion when it comes to Maldives, we saw that they can play well. They can play well. Even at play-ins, they are quite dominating when it comes to the second day, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we'll see later, because Maldives still have 3 players. They are at the center of the map. We are moving towards the northern side, which is La Cobreria, Egypt right now. Playing there, quite far from the circle, but it is still reachable, especially a lot of vehicle at La Cobreria. So I think, yeah, they're still good.
Egypt, Maldives, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Vietnam. These are the teams that have nothing else to lose right now. Hence, I was hoping for Pakistan to really rank up when it comes to the grand finals. And speaking of which, you mentioned just now how Maldives can be better. But I have a feeling that Malta is already improving so much within just few days. The one that really being fallen off behind is going to be Pakistan and also Egypt. They used to be so good in playoff. Right now, they're just nowhere to be seen.
To be honest, when it comes to Egypt, I do not know what is the exact factor that makes them not too well performing at the grand final. But for Pakistan, I think the bold movement coming from them, want to go toward the circle, without a lot of calculation, especially for the grand final, it's the main problem. Because most of the time, Pakistan players are being eliminated by their rotation, getting shot by a lot of players inside the circle. And, you know, when it comes to the play-ins, they only play for maximum 13 teams. So I think a lot of rotation, a lot of path, they still can get it, they still can use it. But when it comes to the grand final, moving too bold like that made Pakistan right now at a 15th position.
Feel like because of the addition of 5 teams coming out from the grand finals makes so many teams, including teams down there, especially teams down there, a bit uncomfortable. You know, it took them quite a long time to adapt to the play-ins, so they need extra time. But the problem is, some teams, when one team, even the addition of one team, will change the dynamic of the drop spot and their rotation as a whole. Imagine it's 5. Now, they are not comfortable where they're at for Pakistan and also teams that are including even Jordan. Jordan is just so quiet for the past few days. Yeah, we do see Leif do some plays, but it's not as much if you compare of how well they did in the play-ins. But the one that actually rising up the occasion is going to be Saudi Arabia, honestly speaking, because they have been so good when it comes to the grand finals itself.
I mean, when it comes to the grand final...
and even Iraq. Sorry,
even Iraq. So I think for the grand final, it is so limited for about the games. It's only 15 games. And I think even though you lost some of the games, when you can bounce back by a huge amount of points in one game, like what Saudi and also Iraq did, I think it still can help you to go towards the top 5 position. Because, you know, it's kind of not stable so far. Even Kazakhstan just stepping up at the second day. Brunei, even though they are quite dominating for about 3 games, then 4th and 5th, they got too soon. So I think it is quite different when it comes to the play-in. Play-in, Saudi Arabia with 300 points, it's already, 100% sure they are going to the grand final. But when it comes to the grand final, I think the distribution of power is still changing every game up until now.
Is it really because I feel like when it comes... Okay, we did have this conversation earlier, okay. A lot of you guys might actually notice a lot of the Arab teams or the Middle East team actually up there. One of the many reasons they are very masculine in nature when it comes to flexing their alpha male on that side. Back to our Chinese Taipei, though, it's going to be a bit of a problem. It's versus Turkey. Oh, boy, I'm not loving this. It's too early. It's too early.
Yeah, it's too early. I think Turkey want to move from San Martin, but at the same time, they met the movement also coming from Chinese Taipei. But I think both of the parties not in a good situation, especially Chinese Taipei, because the active player is actually at the lower ground. If Catch and also Solus doing a good proactive movement right now to catch up where is the exact position from Turkey players, from Chinese Taipei player, this will be a big problem, a tough situation for them. Hong being spotted, but the smoke still there. Shark already being revived. Solus is searching where is the exact position from the Chinese Taipei. There's a blind shot towards the smoke, but there is no any connect from the bullet. Even Shark, what a good shot.
That was a clear shot.
That was a very good shot. It is a one-way from the smoke. It can't be seen easily, but Shark managed to take down one player again from Turkey. So right now, Turkey also in a very tough situation. It changes. Right now, it's only with one player.
For me, it's going to be Turkey's actually losing this because why? They already got it off of 2 players down where they can't save them. It's quite right in the front of Chinese Taipei, but Catch will be catched by Shark. Now Shark will be hunting down Catch, just chasing the tail and full in pursuit. But Catch, can he make it out? There goes the spray in an open road as well, and Catch will be fired. Nothing seems to connect. It's too far off. Lucky that Turkey still have 1 more player remains, but the vehicle will explode. It did smoke up quite a number, but back to the side of Turkey. Oh boy, is it the prediction thing now? Because Solus will be bleed out. It's not on me. It's not on me.
You predicted Turkey.
He predicted it. It's not me. It's my manager. It's not me.
But again, there is still one player who I think still tried his best to collecting a lot of or more placement point. But again, it's not easy because San Martin is being pushed by the blue zone. So let's see later. There's still hope, but it is so small in percentage. Back to the other side, near the Chumacera. I think this is the team that being discussed by me and also Chuchu. Vietnam even moved from Chumacera because, you know, Morocco is quite strong today. Even starting the game with the winner chicken dinner. Vietnam moving from their ordinary place, Ryan already lost 2 of their players, and they are meeting with Jordan. Even right now, really tough situation for 3 teams, I guess, because I don't know, suddenly a lot of changes happen. A lot of teams want to go toward the central, and it becomes a chaotic war even just by the second circle.
It's because of a flight path early on. So many teams come up from the northern side. So they're all moving towards down south due to Chumacera. It's going to be one of the main circle over Montenegro just now. If the circle pops again in less than 2 minutes. Jordan fighting against Vietnam. They're having a 1-to-1 trade so far, but it's not being translated into 1 point. Newbie spotted out Egyptian player IESF. There's going to be an easy eliminations and not even breaking a sweat coming up from Brunei Darussalam. But they do have 1 more player across them. They're trying to take him down. Krona on the run. Now, can he make it out with that buggy while he's quite in the open field there? 2 wide of an angle. But I think the Bruneis know when to take the fight and when to stand down. Now, that's the hardest part. When to stand down.
Yep, totally. Brunei really stepping up their gameplay because of that strategy that already mentioned by Chuchu. They know the right timing, even though it is a clear shot. It is an easy one because it's only 1 player from Egypt, but they know their position right now is more important than chasing any more elimination, and that's one of the strong point, I guess, from Brunei. They are intact with 4 players up until the late game.
Because
so yeah,
they're thinking about how much resources are they committing.
Yeah, resources
and also on top of this mountain, there's no way for you to replenish your resources if you overuse them, which so many mistakes done by the other teams down there. They just keep on committing the fights until they forgot they don't have anything left anymore.
I think the best example is when it comes to the play-ins Bahrain, right?
Yeah.
They are shooting towards all down below, and they are forgetting about their utility, about their weapon, bullets, and also about their vest and helmet, because when you shoot too much, it will be contested because all the other opponents want to go through your place. But back again to the side of Morocco, again they're starting strong, and I really like how they already have their confidence. Jordan meanwhile moving with 4 different vehicles. Late is still dropping down, searching for any possible opponent inside a compound, and I think this will be a place for Jordan for a while.
Now they're going to stay this and not going to move that much. But the circle right on top of Montenegro, this fog of Montenegro is such a famous one once upon a time. But look at how many teams come out from the right side of the circle. Not much coming out from the northern side. There's only 2 teams, including Chinese Taipei and Brazil. That might be our last few contenders. Remember that Chinese Taipei and Brazil. But on the side of Jordan, it's going to be coming out from the southern part. Not much there either. The one that's really saturating right now is on the right side, coming out from the east side of the circle. While Montenegro still not having anybody in the center, but how can they defend even it's in the center?
Oh yeah, totally true. And speaking of defense, I think this is the good moment, especially for Pakistan, because they are wavering by the circle. They are dropping down near the Montenegro area, so they can play hopefully quite well, because I really want to see they are stepping up for their points. Meanwhile, the movement coming from Sri Lanka being spotted by Indonesian team. This is quite risky gameplay. They have the high ground, but again, our discussion earlier, how well they will manage to control their loot, control that utility that will be used next again for the next circle. But Piasau, what a good shot coming from Piasau to Maldives. But I think not only coming from Brunei, there is a shot also coming from Chinese Taipei. Yeah.
The thing is, Chinese Taipei picking the fight for both teams, for Brunei and also Maldives. The one that's not actually being attacked is going to be Chinese Taipei, coming up from behind, backstabbing and bulldozing people and try to just take advantage as a third party. Now, Brunei knows this for a fact, and they're left with only 3 players. They are trying to reassess the situation and regrouping where to go next. They definitely don't want to be in the center here anymore. They need to get out from here, maybe moving a bit towards the southern part if they want to. Even north. North is not that much of a contender, but we do have Chinese Taipei already gatekeeping on that area. Sri Lanka and the rest of the other teams, including Arab Saudi, Do they want to go in the center this early?
Yep. Good for Saudi for a while, but Sri Lanka, I think, still confused about their movement because it's not that easy. Left alone, Saudi Arabia, Indonesia still shooting towards the player from Sri Lanka, but this is what I'm waiting for. Pakistan, even though they already have the central, which is Monte Nuevo, right now they are being contested by Maldives. Pharaoh with a good nade cook right now, but it is too late for the nade itself. It is not connecting towards the player from Maldives. Maldives, another nade throw towards the Pakistan players, but there will be a close combat battle. But I don't know, Pharaoh, where's the confidence? Where's the confidence? Even he's being backstepped right now because he's being chased. He's not the chasing one. He have a good vest, good helmet, a lot of health point, but right now I think in terms of confidence, it is higher for Maldives.
Feels like it. Right now, Pakistan's not that really in position. Payne taking down on Toxin. Now they want to get in a different angle entirely. Now once they got themselves that one knockdown, they're going to go for the rush. Vast with the rest of the Pakistan team trying to push forward, getting on Martha. That's going to be one team out of the first few, including Turkey. It's going to be Maldives next. And down to only 14.
Finally, Pakistan, this is what we are waiting for. A lot of rotation cut yesterday. They are not performing well because they are being taken down while they are not fighting. Today, they are showing that they are still here with their good gameplay. But I really like also from Daku with the initiative going toward the circle because he knows if he late, the other teammate can go easily because a lot of team will come. The terrain is quite unique when it comes to the circle. Not many compounds can be occupied. They really need to maximize the vehicle, adding more for the terrain so they can have a good vision and also maybe fighting when it comes or when it is necessary.
But I have a feeling we might end up in urban area where we have on top of Montenegro, there's a lot of buildings. That's where all like Sri Lanka and Saudi Arabia actually at the moment. For the teams that are actually coming up from the left side of the circle, there's not much terrain like you mentioned, not much compound. Sorry, the terrain is tricky, but there's not many spaces or buildings to play along. There's a couple of warehouses. The problem with these warehouses is going to be what? The moment you step out from the warehouse, there's nothing else for you to hide yourself away. You can be in there trying to defend. It's a good fortress to defend, but to get out, if the circle's not there, that's going to be a doomsday for these guys.
Yeah, doomsday, shooting gallery, I guess, for the other opponents to your team, which is Morocco right now. But so far, they are still in a good situation. But back to the Pakistan area, I really like how they try to keep the movement coming from the other team by splitting around, so they have a lot of angles to shot towards the players of the enemy, which is Team Titan or Kazakhstan. But I think Teaku already managed to find out where is the exact position of the enemy. What a good nade coming to Pakistan. It explodes there, but it doesn't have happened for any knockdown. But Daku, low HP. I think Kazakhstan control it quite well. Even they are having the high ground right now. So another table flip for teams Pakistan.
For Pakistan, it's just too far. That's just too far off from each other. Now, it's almost impossible for them to actually give aid towards the side of Daku. Daku just stuck there, kind of a move. We do have Korean teams coming up from behind as well. Now, there might be sandwich between two teams. Kazakhstan is going to be Axel pushing forward with a new MP spot. Now, Daku, nowhere to run, no hide, but they're not sitting this quietly. And Axel got retaliated by the side of Pakistan. It's going to be Daku valiantly fighting over amongst the smoke. And Puncher is trying to do a bit of a clutch movement here, but it's just not easy to take down Daku. Finally on his knees. What a valiant effort. What a warrior moment coming up from Daku just now.
Firstly, I really like how Pakistan, we saw earlier they are moving quite split. It's a long split, we can see. So it's not easy to do the backup, but I think that's a good one when it comes to Daku going to the lower ground. It managed to be giving the opportunity for Titan or Kazakhstan to push towards him, but actually it's a trap because from behind they will be shooting towards the Kazakhstan team, even though right now the one player, which is Daku, tried to taking a long time fight for Kazakhstan. Right now he failed, so that way I think Pakistan is not in a good situation. But coming for the fifth circle, Saudi investing one of the players already inside the circle. Right now they really getting well, but back to the fight. Titan or Kazakhstan, I think, will push forward to Morocco. This is the thing that we are quite interested about it, because Morocco, they knew the warehouse is not good anymore. It's too open. It will be easy target for a lot of team. And they're moving to the 2 stories building. So I think still a good move coming from Morocco.
Yeah, but thing is, Kazakhstan team trying to force it to be a CQC moment. One team coming up from Chinese Taipei, taking on Charco. For the side of Bruneians, this is not great at all. They're down to only one last player. Newbie, can he try to turn the table around? Turning the tide. It's going to be Newbie coming in with the UMP right across him, but he got himself covered in smoke for now, but not much longer as they're quite far off from the circle. They're very close to the blue zone. Horshan, in the meantime, managed to revive and having another go, and Brunei down with Shako, bleeding out. There's nowhere for them to save him. But at the same time, I think Newbie just bailed things out, get into the center of the circle with a buggy, and just, you know what, I want to play for the position. Side of a Chinese Taipei, this is not great with that smoke-up vehicle going forward.
And Brazil, like I predicted, about the movement, they can't fight back, and this is a big downfall. But another good defense coming from Morocco. What a good DBS use when it comes to the close combat, and unfortunately for Pakistan, they are being sent to the lobby. But the fight continues because Morocco, not only from Pakistan, Kazakhstan from behind, try to go towards their place. And the utility coming from Puncher, really giving a bad time for Morocco. And this is the moment the smoke's already being popped out. And look at the movement coming from Kazakhstan. They move as a unit. 6 and TAQ at the front, shooting towards the player from Morocco, even with the UMP, low HP. And look at that. From the right side, they do the flank in Moroccan side. Suddenly being wiped out one by one, only left with one player only.
Oh, Morocco, they had a go just now. What a momentum earlier, but Sankai with a DBS. Can he clutch it? Oh, big burn off. Sankai no way out, and that's it. They got the previous chicken. Now they are quite early to get out at 10 and 9 place. And it's going to be Kazakhstan reigning over for their overall ranking board with 8 eliminations so far. Sri Lanka's taking a shot to the side of Jordan, but Indonesia is also on a steamroll. They've been third party all the way here today. They're having a good day.
Yep. Going down from the top of the hill. They managed to have the compounds and right now shooting towards all the open field. Vietnam, very open. Chua Chong becomes the 4th elimination for Indonesia. But right now, they're still quite aggressive. They do not want to be pushed easily by all of the teams, especially Sri Lanka and Jordan, which both of the parties are quite close with Indonesia, but the circle shift again towards the open field. So this will become a bloodbath coming from all of the teams to go towards the 6th circle of future.
Doom joining in the bloodbath from the sideline, definitely taking over the side of Iraq. Who's trying? Iraq's position is really peculiar. If you ask me, it looks really uncomfortable where they clumped up together. You need to just widen up the spread to gain more information, have more angles. Off-angle position is so important at this point. Sri Lanka, they're slowly moving in with a couple of vehicles to become their barricades, while Indonesia will be the next contender, gatekeeping it there and denying their entrance towards the circle. Maybe just spraying over prey and spray throughout the smoke, hoping it will connect. Seems like it will be. Got a couple of them almost down. Oh, so close, and he got one. It's going to be coming up from the side of Indonesia, taking on Doom. And now Chuagan taking on Kalaga as well. They're taking 2 teams at a time for the Indonesians.
Yep, what a good defense coming from Indonesia. They do the proactive movement. They do not want to be easily taken down inside the circle. But right now, Willy Aja with a great movement even took down one of the players from Jordan. Gaga being taken down. Sri Lanka still have the time to do the revive, but it is too late for them to go inside the circle. Right now, Agi Chuek is still left behind to be the support, or even right now still scouting towards what around him, which is Sri Lanka is the nearest one. Kazakhstan, I think, from far behind, still shooting towards a lot of team, but Indonesia giving a lot of hard time to Sri Lanka right now. But I think the contest will be happen at a close combat because Hazen with the M249 ready for the close combat.
But the thing is, if they focus towards sort of Kazakhstan, Indonesia and Kazakhstan having the most teams mates right now. Hazen being shot out, even though he got himself quite an arsenal to work with. But the Blues is not favouring him. Just going to heal that with a band-aid. I don't think that's going to work, but here comes I Get You. We're taking them down. It's going to be one more team eliminated. And the next one is going to be Kazakhstan. The game changer will be Leif from Jordan coming up from behind. But Axe and the rest of them just focus on what's in front. This is going to be a troublesome moment if they didn't realize they're being scuffed out from behind as well. Teague trying to take down the spray towards the Indonesian team who's stuck in the rut. They can't get out. Kazakhstan got a better position. They wide enough to spread, dominating the circle. Leave being spotted out. Maybe finish off come from Indonesian. It's going to be 3v4 right now.
Oh my God. What a good position coming from TAQ, and maybe the last man standing. Look at it's too open, but he knows where is the exact position from Indonesian player, which is maybe the shot coming from maybe, but countered quite well from TAQ. Only with the UMP for a long range like this is not good. But look at Kazakhstan with a good teamwork at the end. They won the chicken dinner. They do not get it at the first game, but the second one, they're too strong. Kazakhstan back to the track for the top 1 position.
Like the funny part.
But before all of things, teacher, like I mentioned, when I predict at the beginning of the day, it's quite good, right?
I don't know, bro. What are you trying to say? I mean, like, you know, we want to feel good for ourselves.
Yeah,
but for me, there's no way out because just now I rooted for Kazakhstan and because of my prediction, done my manager rooted for Kazakhstan. It's a bit later. And this time we go for Turkey, and it's always the first one to be out for whatever we predicted for my side today. I mean,
no.
I don't know. For the next team, good luck, have fun. I'm not the one predicting, it's my manager. Whoever my manager picks, so is the first one to be out. But for your side, though, who do you root it for again just now?
Indonesia, top 2, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, Doggy is all clear. Doggy is a clear, like, the start of the day. It's still early.
It's still early.
The last 2 matches.
That will be total different, I guess. But yeah, we're going to see the highlight from the Miramar itself because it's quite hot when it comes to the late game. A lot of teams try toward the circle, but a surprise coming from Maldives, quite unusual because this is an exact place for the rotation of Iraq, or even the meeting or the meetup between Turkey and Chinese Taipei. It shows us a lot of strategy change, a lot of rotation happened, or the different rotation from yesterday happened. So yeah, third day, they really want to show the best of them and collecting a lot of points.
A lot of teams actually kind of found out that they are in the center of a crossfire out of sudden. Same goes for the side of Brunei. Even though they managed to survive in the last minute, it's still quite consistent if you ask me about how long they survived there. Even though they didn't secure that much eliminations. But there's so many teams, including like, now, this is a big question in my head. Why is it so many teams, including Pakistan or Maldives, feels like they don't have a sort of navigation compass about what they want to do? Is it going for objectives? Are they going for elimination? It feels like they are still struggling to decide between those two.
Yeah, it's kind of, they do not have an exact objection or objective. Yeah,
they don't have any objection, but they have objectives.
I mean, like objective, I do not know why, because you know, Pakistan is really favored by the circle, if I can say, from the previous Miramar, because Montenuevo is so close for the late game. They even can defend quite well, but when it comes to an aggression, when it comes to the sort decision making towards the late game, they failed to do that. And yeah, I think Kazakhstan, really good spirit coming for today. 31 total points, so it makes the top 2 position kind of shaky between Kazakhstan and Brunei, because Brunei is really good at the first game. The second game, they're still collecting a lot of points, but Kazakhstan, though, chicken dinner. So we'll see, because the gap between the two teams are not that far.
I mean, like, there's been shuffling between the first place for now, between Kazakhstan. The previous match, Brunei just cut above of Kazakhstan the last minute. Now Kazakhstan taking away the first place again. All they need to do for the Brunei is they have to make sure they got top 3 every single match as well. Same goes for Kazakhstan. Now, they both know where are they standing right now. But this one coming up from Indonesia, I have a feeling they might actually jump up to the top 10 teams right now when it comes to overall rankings.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because the latest one is 63 with another 20, so I think they are going to the top 10. But going to the overall statistic, this is quite unique when it comes to Puncher. Puncher is a really compact player, a long-range battle, he's good. For the close combat, the utility used by Puncher is also good. So I think, yeah, he's the one. He's the one of the MVP maybe when it comes to Kazakhstan, because it's really compact. All battles really pushed by Puncher when it comes to Kazakhstan.
You know what? I agree. Now, I have a feeling maybe even the MVP might be Puncher again. And it has been every single day he will score himself one MVP for Puncher. And not just that, the longest distance elimination is his own record to beat him up with. It's 475 is also coming up from Puncher.
Yeah, Puncher, the 475 meters. Even 400 is still big, but Axer, I think from the elimination, because a lot of points coming from elimination damage. So Puncher is like the openers when it comes to the fight for Team Kazakhstan. Meanwhile, Axer, I think the last moment when he did the split and making Indonesian team lost their vision about where is the exact or which part do they need to fight first. I think Axar really did it well, and from the total heals 200 more or 200-ish, it shows that Kazakhstan did a lot of fight, and this is the MVP, Axar. Congratulations! Love for the country and the pride for the country. This is a really good coming from Axar.
I mean, like, it's a rare sight to have Axar sometimes. I mean, like, he used to be a lot of MVP back in the days of the Pro League as well. So when it comes to Kazakhstan team, when it comes to this team as a whole, when we talk about Kazakhstan, definitely we're talking about, you know, the pro teams as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be Titan Gaming. So these teams, I mean, like, they have been performed. Every single player is so important. But it's always Axar and Puncher as a duo to work so much for the entire team.
Oh yeah, totally, especially for the previous Miramar. So it's kind of build the tense up towards the top three, if I can say, because the top two right now, Brunei and Kazakhstan, still battling so well. The gap point is so close. So we'll see, because we are going to the third game of the day, which is Sanok. But I think before we are going to the third game, we are going to our amazing host, right? So yeah, Gary, Eka, Asmara, take it away.
All right, thank you once again, El Joge and Chuchu. Another round has done, and congratulations again for Kazakhstan. So we will have a short commercial break. Blah blah blah. Semakin hari semakin belibet ya mulutnya ya. Nunggu mau kelar soalnya. After this, so don't go anywhere. But still, another question about buah apa yang paling indah? Buah apa yang paling indah? Tidak ada yang bisa menjawab. Jawab salah. Jawabannya adalah apel. Apel pelangi, alangkah indahmu. Thank you guys. After this, still on IESF 14 World Esports Championship Bali 2022.